NFL Week 4, four of our favorite DFS value plays this week. Tyler McKillop, Jared Hall, welcome back to Doing Football, presented by OwnersBox. If you enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like. We'd really appreciate it, greatly appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Comment down below if you got any questions for us for this coming week. And subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed as well. So let's get to our favorite plays this week. Again, this is on OwnersBox. We'll have their salaries down below for you to check out. Be sure to go to the $50,000 Week 4 contest. It is live, getting you ready for the Sunday only contest here. Why don't you get started, Jared? I know you have a couple wide receivers, right?
Yeah, it's my first value wide receiver here. It's Michael Pittman. He's at $4,700, so pretty cheap. Last week he was 10.6% owned, but I don't think it's going to be that high this week. Now, after week 2, he had a massive game. So I think he had 20 fantasy points, something like that. So a lot of people were looking his way. And then he kind of came back down to earth last week. He's still 12 or so fantasy points, but not that big blow-up game that you'd hope for. But there was really good signs. Back-to-back weeks now of 12 targets. So he's the clear wide receiver 1. The Colts love to use him. I think he could get in the end zone this week. And he hasn't done it yet. So if he does that, then and he gets those 12 targets again, then he is in line for an even potentially bigger week than those 20 points he had a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's a nice floor for people if they're grabbing him at his price. Yeah. What did you say his price was again?
$4,700.
Yeah,
so very cheap.
Value.
The average, remember, is 55, 56. So if you get guys under that, then it just means you can spend more elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Okay, so mine is the running back position. I'm going to the Bears, a team I think a lot of people are scared to have anything to do with this coming week. I know on the the Vegas side, the betting side, that the Lions have been heavily targeted this week by the public and by sports bettors. So Montgomery is someone I want to go to this week at his price of $6,200 on OwnersBox. Last week, 1.8% ownership in week 3. Some of that probably has to do a bit with wanting to attack the Bears offense because of the arrival of Justin Fields. So this could even be lower after a horrible week offensively for the Bears. But if I'm looking at the underlying numbers and just everything with David Montgomery, this is a pure workhorse back. He's 7th in the NFL in running back rushing attempts. He's top 10 in yards after contact per attempt, which is great to see considering the Bears offensive line struggles. He's got 71% of the team's rushing attempts and 59% route participation. So he's on the field in all situations. Down in distance from long, from short, he is out there. He's on the field all the time. Damian Williams really isn't eating into this workload whatsoever. So the opportunity is there, and at $6,200, I think it's a tremendous value considering the opportunity that he gets against the Lions defense that has given up 21.3 fantasy points per game to the running back position. That's down near the bottom 6 in the NFL. So I love David Montgomery. I think it's someone that a lot of people will be overlooking this week, and you can be rising up your GPP leaderboards by targeting this week in your lineups.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't done much the past 2 weeks, so a lot of people are going to think, oh, he's not the back he used to be. Avoid him because he had a great week 1. We thought that would mean he continues to do great things. Just hasn't been the case. And if he does turn things around, it probably should be against the Lions this week. So yeah, I like the pick.
He's managing 4.5 yards per carry with a terrible offensive line, and that's because he's actually a quality runner of the football. Top 10 in yards after contact is great to see.
Yeah.
So I think Dave Montgomery is someone you should be targeting and can build your lineup around.
I like it. All right, my second guy, it's Brandon Aiyuk. He was my guy to start the year. He's kind of disappointed so far. He's at $4,800, so he's pretty cheap. He was only 0.6% owned last week. Now, I do expect that to come up because he did finally have that decent game last week after just being in the doghouse the first 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And the snap percentage is looking really good for him. It went from 47% in week 1, 54% in week 2, now 86% in week 3.
Yep.
So he's finally out of the doghouse. He's a clear starter now, finally out of Trent Sherfield. And they play the Seahawks, the 49ers do. They just got absolutely torched by the Vikings. I expect some of the same from this 49ers offense. I know you like the 49ers offense this week. So if Kittle might not play either. So if he doesn't play, that just means only Debo and Aiyuk are the guys in this offense to receive targets from Jimmy Garoppolo. And with Kittle being out, it probably will increase people's likelihood of taking Aiyuk, but they'll still likely target Debo over him just because we've seen more consistent play out of Debo so far this year.
Yeah. I mean, Aiyuk, I've said it previously on this week, especially, is we've expected to see Aiyuk be the yards after catch guy. He can be targeted in short situations. He can be seen with the deep ball. We just haven't seen it yet. So he is the more prolific guy to me. it's matter of what the offense does in terms of if George Kittle isn't playing, then that certainly changes things. If he is playing, then how do they work him into the offense? But I mean, definitely at a cheaper.
Exactly. Another guy you can get well under the average.
Mine, I'm going to the tight end position. On OwnersBox, we've seen the winning lineups on the week. The first 2 weeks were spending at the tight end position. Last week, Gerald Everett was a part of the $10,000 grand prize lineup. So Hunter Henry at $4,100 a game is a really enticing option and a very, very contrarian option this week. Extremely contrarian. I'm looking at his price, and we're looking at the players surrounding him, and these are some of the hottest players at the position. We've got Dalton Schultz, Tyler Conklin, Austin Hooper, and Dawson Knox all around that $4,100 price. So Hunter Henry will be a complete afterthought. It was like that in week 3 as well. 0.3% ownership in week 3, so nobody really looking to play him. But we've got some great numbers here that's going to show me that in a matchup against the Bucs, when they're 7.5 or 7-point underdogs in a lot of passing game scripts, that Hunter Henry should be the guy to go to for Mac Jones. Henry's up to 70% route participation last week. Jonnu Smith down to 26%, really on the backs of a costly turnover that he's juggling the football brutal. And went the other way. So, you don't want to be in Bill Belichick's doghouse, and I think Jonnu Smith might be in that situation. His route participation has been coming down each and every week. Hunter Henry's just in a great spot here. His role should expand from the 11% target share he's had so far. But what I look to that's really interesting and enticing for this week is I like how his target share is up on 3rd and 4th down. It's at 18% on 3rd and 4th down. So in those obvious passing situations, we're looking at Hunter Henry as an option more often than we are on 1st and 2nd down, which is a good thing to see. And I'm building that into as well the opportunity of without Jonnu Smith on the field as much, and look to that Hunter Henry's a great option at his price and just a really contrarian play this week.
Yeah, I like the pick. We've seen like Jonnu Smith, despite barely being on the field, it seems like he's targeted when he is on the field.
Yeah.
But now that he's just been so bad, like that play last week, Bill Belichick's going to hate it so much. He has to involve Hunter Henry even more now. Like, it just keeps going up, his rep percentage, as you said. And if that continues, Bill Belichick might just say, all right, Jonnu, we're not throwing you the ball anymore. It's all Hunter Henry from here on out.
Yeah, and we know what Hunter Henry is. If he's in LA when he was on the field and he was healthy, this was a consistent option for like your season long lineups and can be looked to in daily lineups. So if we're seeing this participation and the target percentage is going down for Jonnu Smith, then we have an opportunity where Hunter Henry is a great play, and his price is probably bound to go up. Based on what we see this week against the Bucs, whose passing defense has been suspect the last few weeks. I mean, they're missing. Murphy Bunting went out early. Jamel Dean's status is up in the air too. So I love Hunter Henry this week at 4,100.
Yeah, I like it too.
Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like on the channel, subscribe, comment down below as well. You can join our Discord if you're interested in joining. Drop a comment. We can send you the link. And then as well, be sure to check out the OwnersBox $50,000 Week 4 salary cap contest. Super flex salary cap game, no kickers and no defense. So if we're hitting on these values, there's no bullshit. There's no kicker that gets you 20 points on the week that messes with it. So check out these values on OwnersBox this week. $25 deposit bonus as well. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.